Hello family. I want you to think about how they show heart problems in the movies. A man is walking down the street, suddenly he clutches his chest, makes a face of agony, and falls to the ground. That is the Hollywood heart attack. But in real life, especially for those over the age of 60, the heart does not always scream. Often, it just whispers. We call this heart failure. Now, please do not panic at that name. It does not mean your heart has stopped beating. It simply means your heart has become too weak or too stiff to pump enough blood to meet the needs of your body. Imagine a pump in your garden. If the pump gets old and rusty, it still works, but the water pressure is low. The water flows slowly. It backs up in the pipes. This is exactly what happens in your body. And because the symptoms are subtle, a little tiredness, a little swelling, most seniors dismiss them as just getting old. They ignore the whispers until they end up in the emergency room. Today, I'm going to teach you the 5 quiet signs that your heart is struggling. Specifically, pay attention to sign number 3, because almost everyone confuses it with a stomach problem, but it is actually a heart problem. The mechanism, the traffic jam. To understand these signs, you need to understand one concept: congestion. Your heart has 2 sides. The right side pumps blood to your lungs to get oxygen. The left side pumps that fresh blood out to the rest of your body. When the pump weakens, traffic jams occur. If the left side is weak, fluid backs up into your lungs. If the right side is weak, fluid backs up into your veins, your liver, and your legs. The 5 signs I am about to list are simply the evidence of this traffic jam. Sign 1, the sock impression, edema. The first sign is often the most visible, but also the most ignored. Look at your feet right now. Do you have swelling around your ankles? When you take off your socks in the evening, do you see a deep ring or an indentation that stays there for 10 or 15 minutes? This is called pitting edema. Because your heart is struggling to pump blood against gravity back up the legs, the fluid leaks out of the veins and into the tissues. Many seniors say, "Oh, it is just salt." Or, "I was standing too long." While that may be true, if you wake up in the morning and your ankles are thin, but by 5 p.m. they look like loaves of bread, your pump is struggling. It is letting gravity win. This is the first traffic jam. Sign 2, the 2-pillow problem, orthopnea. The second sign happens when you try to sleep. Ask yourself this question: can you sleep flat on your back without a pillow? Or do you need 2 or 3 pillows propped up to feel comfortable? In the medical world, we call this orthopnea. Here is the physics of it. When you stand up during the day, gravity pulls fluid down to your legs. But when you lie flat at night, all that fluid rushes back into your chest. If your heart is strong, it pumps that extra fluid away. But if your heart is weak, it cannot handle the extra volume. The fluid backs up into your lungs, and you feel like you are drowning. You might wake up gasping for air. If you find yourself sleeping in a recliner chair because lying down makes you cough, this is a red flag. Sign 3, the gastric confusion, early satiety. This is the sign that most people miss. Please listen carefully. Do you sit down for a meal, feeling hungry, but after just 3 or 4 bites, you feel totally full? You feel bloated, heavy, and uncomfortable, almost as if you ate a massive Thanksgiving feast, but you barely touched your plate. We call this early satiety. You go to your doctor and say, "Doctor, I have indigestion. I have gas. I have IBS." You take antacids, but they don't work. Why? Because this is not a stomach problem. It is a heart problem. Remember the right side of the heart? When it backs up, the congestion goes into the veins that drain the liver and the stomach. Your liver swells up with blood. Your gut wall becomes swollen with fluid, like a waterlogged sponge. This swelling puts physical pressure on your stomach, so it cannot expand to hold food. If you are losing weight because you cannot eat, but your belly looks round and bloated, do not assume it is just gas. Your digestive system is congested because your heart cannot clear the path. Sign 4, the unexplained night cough. Sign number 4 is often confused with allergies or asthma. It is a dry, hacking cough that gets worse at night. We call this cardiac asthma. Unlike a cold, this cough does not produce yellow mucus. It is usually dry, or sometimes produces a frothy white bubble. It happens because the pressure in your heart is forcing fluid into the tiny air sacs of your lungs. Your body is trying to cough out the fluid to breathe. If you have been coughing for weeks, you don't have a fever, and cough syrup isn't helping, please do not ignore this. It is a sign of fluid overload in the lungs. Sign 5, the grocery store fatigue. Finally, sign number 5 is what I call the grocery store fatigue. We all get tired. But heart failure fatigue is specific. It is a heaviness. Patients tell me, "Doctor, it feels like I'm wearing lead shoes." Notice how you feel when you are walking down the aisle at the grocery store. Or walking up one flight of stairs. Do you have to stop halfway to catch your breath? Do your legs feel impossibly heavy? This happens because your heart has a limited amount of fuel. When it is weak, it prioritizes the brain and the vital organs. It stops sending blood to the muscles in your legs. Without fresh blood and oxygen, your muscles tire out instantly. If tasks that were easy for you 6 months ago are now leaving you exhausted, your engine is losing power. The diagnostic tool, the BNP test. So, what should you do? You might have these symptoms, but your ECG looks normal. This is very common. There is one specific blood test I want you to write down. Ask your doctor for it. It is called the BNP test. B-type natriuretic peptide. This is a hormone that your heart releases only when it is under stress and overstretched. If your BNP levels are elevated, it tells us definitively that the cause of your bloating and cough is heart failure, not lung disease or stomach issues. It acts as a truth serum for the heart. The lifestyle shield. While you work with your doctor, there is one major change you can make today to help your heart. You must become a label detective for sodium. Sodium acts like a sponge. It holds onto water. If your pump is weak, the last thing you want is more water in the system. Most of the salt you eat does not come from the salt shaker. It comes from bread, canned soup, deli meat, and cottage cheese. For 1 week, try to eat foods that have no barcode. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh fish. By dropping your fluid retention, you lower the workload on your heart instantly. Conclusion: listen to the whispers. My dear friends, the heart is a resilient organ. It fights for you every single second of every single day. But it cannot fight alone. It needs you to listen to the signals. If your ankles are swollen, if your appetite has vanished, if you need 3 pillows to sleep, do not just accept it as old age. Get checked. Ask for a BNP test. Many forms of heart failure are treatable and even reversible if caught early. Do not wait for the scream. Listen to the whisper. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your parents, your grandparents, or anyone over 60. Let us protect our hearts together. Stay healthy, stay blessed.